Think about the most successful person you know personally. Not famous, not on TV, someone in your real life. Someone you have watched build something, a career, a business, a family, a life that you genuinely respect.
Now think about how much that person talks about their plans, their opinions, their achievements, their next move.
I would guess not much.
Because here is something that takes most people years to notice. The people who talk the most about what they are going to do, they are often the ones who do the least.
And the people who say almost nothing, who work quietly, move quietly, build quietly.
They are the ones who one day you look up and realize, when did they get there? How did they build all of that?
And the answer is always the same.
While everyone else was talking, they were doing.
Today we explore why. And we give you the English and the mindset to become someone who talks with purpose and achieves with power.
Stay with us. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Unstoppable, the podcast where we help you speak English naturally and confidently through real, honest conversations.
And I'm Maria. So happy you're here with us today. This episode is for B1 to B2 learners, intermediate to upper intermediate level English.
How are you feeling today, John?
Honestly, quietly confident, which is very fitting for today's topic.
Perfect. Before we start, thank you. Really, for being here, for choosing to invest your time in something that will genuinely change how you communicate.
Let's go.
Okay, I want to give you a number, and I want you to think about what it means.
What number?
Studies suggest that the average person speaks approximately 16,000 words every single day.
16,000 words. Every day.
And of those 16,000 words, how many do you think actually move their life forward? How many create something, build something, achieve something?
Honestly?
Honestly,
A very small percentage.
a very small percentage. Because most of those 16,000 words are filler. Complaints, opinions nobody asked for, announcements of things not yet done, explanations of decisions that needed no explanation.
Words that feel productive, but produce nothing.
And here is the extraordinary thing. The most successful people, they speak far fewer than 16,000 words a day. Not because they have nothing to say, but because they are very deliberate about what they say.
Every word they speak, it serves a purpose. It moves something forward. It builds something. It connects something.
And the words they don't speak, the plans they don't announce, the opinions they don't offer, the arguments they don't engage, those silences, are just as deliberate, just as powerful.
Today we talk about why this matters, how it works, and how you can build it.
Not to become cold or distant, but to become powerful in a way that most people never discover.
Maybe this is you. You talk a lot, and sometimes after a long conversation you feel like you said too much, or said the wrong things, or announced something before it was ready.
Today, you learn the other way, the quieter, more powerful way.
Okay, let's start with why talking less actually produces more. Because it sounds counterintuitive.
Most people believe the more you communicate, the more you achieve. Share your goals. Tell your network. Announce your plans. Build momentum through words.
And there is some truth in this. Communication matters. Connection matters.
But there is a specific kind of talking that actively works against achievement. And most people do it every day without realizing.
What kind?
Talking about what you are going to do before you do it.
And there is actual science behind why this hurts rather than helps.
Tell us.
When you tell someone about a goal, your brain does something fascinating. It registers the telling as a form of doing.
The social acknowledgement, the nod. The wow that sounds great. The positive reaction it gives your brain a small reward.
The same kind of reward it would get from actually completing the goal.
And because the brain already received a reward, the urgency to actually do the thing it decreases.
You talked about running the marathon. Your brain felt the approval. And now the drive to actually run it is slightly less.
This is called social reality, when sharing a goal makes it feel real enough to your brain that the actual doing feels less necessary.
And this happens to people every day. With careers, with businesses, with relationships, with English learning.
You announce you are going to become fluent in English. Your friends react with encouragement. Your brain registers achievement. And the drive to actually study every day, it softens.
But the person who tells nobody, who just opens the podcast every day and practices quietly, their brain gets no premature reward.
So, the drive stays intact. The consistency stays intact.
And 6 months later, they are fluent. And nobody saw it coming. Because nobody knew it was happening.
That is the silent secret of achievement.
Work first, talk later. If at all.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You told someone about a plan. They reacted positively. And then, somehow, you never quite did the thing.
That was not laziness. That was your brain already satisfied by the talking.
Today, you redirect that satisfaction back where it belongs, into the doing.
Okay. What specifically changes in your life when you start talking less and doing more?
4 specific things. And all 4 they compound over time.
Thing 1, your words gain weight.
When you speak rarely and deliberately, what you say carries more power, more attention, more respect.
Think about it. If someone speaks constantly offering opinions on everything, commenting on everything, sharing everything, their words become background noise.
But if someone speaks carefully, choosing their moments when they do speak, everyone notices. Everyone listens.
Because the words are rare. And what is rare is valuable.
This is one of the most underrated forms of personal power. Not speaking more impressively, speaking less frequently. So when you do, speak, it lands.
Thing 2, your energy increases.
Talking uses energy. Real physical energy.
And most people never notice because they have always talked at the same level. They have no comparison.
But when you start being more selective, when you stop engaging in conversations that drain without producing something, shifts.
You have more energy for work, for thinking, for the things that actually matter.
Because the energy that was going into those conversations, it is now available for something better.
Thing 3, your thinking gets clearer.
When you talk constantly, you think out loud. And thinking out loud, it feels like clarity. But it is often the opposite.
Because when you speak before you have thought something through, you hear yourself saying things you do not fully believe. And then you feel committed to them because you said them publicly.
But when you think quietly first, when you sit with an idea, turn it over, examine it, and then speak what you say is considered genuine, true.
And people feel that difference. The difference between someone who is thinking as they talk and someone who has already thought before they spoke.
One sounds uncertain, the other sounds wise.
Thing 4, your relationships become more genuine.
This one surprises people. They think if I talk less, I will connect less. People will think I am cold, distant.
But the opposite often happens. When you talk less, you listen more. And listening genuine, present listening it, is one of the greatest gifts you can give another person.
Most people in conversations, they are waiting for their turn to speak. Not really listening, preparing their next contribution.
But when you are not preparing your next contribution, when you are genuinely quiet inside, you actually hear what the other person is saying.
And they feel heard. And feeling heard, it creates connection deeper than any amount of talking.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You met someone who said very little but listened completely, and you left that conversation feeling strangely understood.
That person, they understood the power of listening. And the connection they built with silence, it was more real than most people build with hours of conversation.
Okay, let's get specific. Where do most people waste the most words? The specific situations where talking produces nothing and sometimes costs everything.
Situation 1, arguing to be right.
This is perhaps the biggest word waster of all. How much time, how many words do people spend trying to convince others that they are right?
In conversations that ultimately change nothing, where neither person was ever going to be convinced.
And the energy spent, the words use the emotional cost for what?
For the temporary satisfaction of having made the argument, which fades within hours.
Successful people, they pick their battles. Carefully, deliberately.
They ask, will winning this argument change anything important? Will it move something forward? Will it build something?
If the answer is no, they stay quiet. They let it go. Not because they are weak, because their energy is worth more than this argument.
Situation 2, explaining decisions that need no explanation.
We talked about this in another episode, and it is worth repeating here.
Every time you explain a personal decision to someone who did not need the explanation, you spend words and energy, and you invite opinions, and opinions invite more words and more energy.
The confident person makes a decision and states it simply, without the defense built in.
I've decided to do this. Not, I've decided to do this because of these reasons, and I know it might seem strange, but I've thought about it, and here's why I think it makes sense.
The second version invites debate. The first version does not.
Situation 3, sharing plans before they are ready.
We covered the science of this, but let's make it practical.
Before you share any plan, ask one question. Is this strong enough to survive doubt?
Because doubt will come. From well-meaning people. From people who are not well-meaning. From people who simply have different experiences and different fears.
And if your plan is still fragile, still forming it, may not survive that doubt.
So keep it quiet until it is strong.
Execute first. Announce when the results are there to speak for themselves.
Situation 4. Filling silence with unnecessary words.
This is a social habit most people have and never examine. When silence arrives in a conversation, they fill it. Immediately. With anything.
And the anything it is rarely valuable. It is just noise. To avoid the discomfort of quiet.
But silence in a conversation, it is not a problem. It is a space. And spaces in music, in art, in conversation, they give meaning to what surrounds them.
The person who can sit comfortably in conversational silence, they project something remarkable. Ease, confidence, presence.
And the words they eventually say, because they were not rushed, they are better.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You filled a silence with something you immediately regretted. Because the silence was uncomfortable. And the words were worse.
Today, you learn to sit in the silence. And let it work for you.
Okay. Practical phrases. Because speaking less does not mean speaking worse. It means speaking more deliberately, more powerfully, more truly.
Category 1 phrases for pausing before you speak.
Let me think about that for a moment before I respond.
This phrase, it does something extraordinary. It signals I take this seriously. I am not going to give you a quick, thoughtless answer. I am going to give you a considered one.
And the considered answer it is almost always better than the quick one.
I want to make sure I say this properly.
Again, this signals care, deliberateness, respect for the conversation.
Category 2 phrases for saying less without seeming cold.
I'm still thinking this through. I'll share more when it's clearer.
This is the phrase for protecting plans that are not ready. It acknowledges that something is happening without exposing what.
I prefer to let the results speak rather than talk about the process.
Beautiful. Confident. And it signals something powerful. I am someone who produces, not just someone who plans.
Category 3 phrases for ending unnecessary conversations gracefully.
I think we see this differently, and that's okay.
This phrase, it ends an argument without winning or losing. It simply acknowledges difference and moves on.
No drama. No escalation. No wasted words.
I appreciate you sharing that. I'll think about it.
This phrase receives what someone said without committing to agree, without opening a debate, without over-responding.
You received it. You will think about it. The conversation can move on.
Category 4 phrases for the moments when your silence speaks.
Sometimes the most powerful thing is to say nothing and let your actions speak.
When someone doubts you instead of defending you, work.
When someone underestimates you instead of arguing, you produce.
And then when the result exists, you say simply, here it is.
3 words. After months of quiet work. And they land like nothing else ever could.
Because they are backed by everything that was not said. Everything that was done instead.
Can I share something about what this really is at its deepest level?
Please.
Talking less is not about being quiet. It is about being intentional.
What do you mean?
Every word you speak it is a choice, even when it does not feel like one.
And most people, they never examine that choice. They just speak automatically because it is comfortable, because it fills the space, because it is what everyone around them does.
But the person who becomes intentional about their words, who starts to ask, before speaking, does this need to be said? Does this serve something? Does this build something?
That person starts to notice something remarkable.
Their life changes. Not dramatically at first, but consistently.
Because the energy that was going into words goes into work. And the work produces things that words never could.
And the words they do speak freed from the weight of constant talking. They mean more. They carry more. They land differently.
And people around them start to notice. This person says less. But what they say matters.
And that quality of speaking with intention and weight is one of the most powerful things you can build.
In any language, in any culture, in any situation.
And for English learners, this matters directly. Because intentional speech in English is far more impressive than constant speech.
10 carefully chosen English sentences said with confidence and clarity, they communicate more than 100 anxious, uncertain ones.
Quality over quantity. Always. In English. In life. In everything.
Remember this, you do not need more words. You need better ones. And better words come from more thinking and less speaking.
Say it again.
You do not need more words. You need better ones. And better words come from more thinking and less speaking.
Think more. Speak less. Achieve more. That is the whole secret.
Word tour time. Key words from today.
Word 1, deliberate. This means done with careful thought and conscious intention. Example 1, her words were deliberate, every sentence chosen for a purpose. Example 2, deliberate English practice, focused, and intentional produces results that casual listening cannot.
Be deliberate. With your words, with your practice, with your choices. Deliberateness is the foundation of everything powerful.
Word 2, premature. This means too early, before the right time or the right conditions. Example 1, sharing the plan prematurely cost him the motivation to actually execute it. Example 2, premature announcements invite premature opinions, and premature opinions kill fragile ideas.
Never share prematurely. Let things develop in private until they are strong enough for the world.
Word 3, intact. This means complete and undamaged. Nothing missing. Example 1, by keeping her plans private, her motivation remained intact throughout the process. Example 2, after the difficult period, her confidence emerged intact because she had protected it carefully.
Protect what needs to remain intact. Motivation, confidence, plans, privacy guards, all three.
Word 4, compound. In this context, to grow on top of itself over time. Each gain building on the last. Example 1, the habit of speaking deliberately compounds each conversation handled well, builds the skill for the next. Example 2, English vocabulary compounds, every word learned makes the next one easier to acquire.
Trust the compound effect. Small, deliberate choices made consistently build something extraordinary over time.
Word 5, intentional. This means done on purpose, with clear awareness and direction. Example 1, intentional speech, choosing words carefully, is more powerful than constant speech. Example 2, intentional English practice, knowing what you are practicing and why produces fluency faster than passive exposure.
Be intentional about what you say, about what you keep quiet, about how you spend your words. Intention transforms ordinary communication into extraordinary impact.
Word 6, filler. This means something used to fill a space without adding real value. Example 1, most of our daily words are filler sounds and sentences that fill silence without building anything. Example 2, remove the filler from your English, speak less, but more precisely, and your communication immediately improves.
Identify your filler, the words you use out of habit rather than need, and start removing them. What remains will be stronger.
Word 7, execute. This means to carry out a plan, to actually do the thing, not just plan or talk about it. Example 1, she stopped announcing and started executing, and the results appeared quietly and powerfully. Example 2, execute your English practice every day. The consistency of doing matters more than the perfection of planning.
Execute. That word it is everything. Not plan. Not announce. Execute. Quietly, consistently, and let the results speak.
Word 8, underestimate. This means to judge something as less important or capable than it actually is. Example 1, people underestimated her because she spoke so little, and she let them while she worked. Example 2, never underestimate the power of consistent small steps. They become extraordinary things.
Let people underestimate you if they choose to. The results will correct their estimate. Without a single word from you.
One thing to practice this week. Just one.
This week, before you share any plan, any goal, any new idea, pause. And ask yourself one question.
Is this strong enough to survive doubt?
If the answer is yes, share it. With someone who has earned the trust.
If the answer is no, keep it. Work on it. Build it. Until the answer becomes yes.
And here is your sentence template for today.
I prefer to let my results speak for themselves, but I can tell you something is being built.
Say it now. Out loud.
I prefer to let my results speak for themselves, but I can tell you something is being built.
Again. With the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly what they are doing.
I prefer to let my results speak for themselves, but I can tell you something is being built.
That sentence is the language of someone who talks less and achieves more. Use it and mean it.
Comment challenge time.
One question today. And we want your most honest answer.
What is one plan or goal that you are going to keep completely private until the result is ready to speak for itself?
Write it using this sentence, something I am working on quietly without announcing. Is underscore underscore. And I will share it. When underscore underscore score underscore.
Write it. In English. In the comments.
Because writing it as a private commitment, that is already the first act of working quietly.
We read every comment. Every one.
Please give this a like if it helped you.
Subscribe to Speak Unstoppable for new episodes every week. Real conversations. Real English. Real life.
Thank you for being here today.
Talk less.
Think more.
Execute quietly.
And let your results.
Do all the talking.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. See you in the next episode.